Russ and Brenda, the winds are calm right now, but overnight the strong winds caused a lot of these trees to sway back and forth, back and forth. Eventually this one fell over. Just to show you how massive this tree is, I'm standing right next to the base. I'm about 6 feet tall, and you can clearly see the base extends all the way up, about 10 feet tall.
Sam, how are things going?
Brenda, election officials say most people will be dropping off their ballots later in the day when they get off of work. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here on the guardrail, you can see the freezing rain starting to accumulate, and on the cement block just underneath, we have a sheer layer of just ice. And in terms of the snow here, let me show you. The snow has turned into these hard slabs of ice. So for drivers right now on both the streets and the highways, it's been a slow go.
In the neighborhood where the most recent crime took place, Sam.
Tracy, police say the suspect hit this house twice on the same day. The first time, he walked in through an unlocked door. The second time, he climbed up on the roof and went in through an unlocked window.
News Channel 8's Sam Louie is live at Emmanuel Hospital where the victim is recovering. Sam?
Laurel, Dina Garcia is currently in serious condition here at the hospital. The staff tells me it appears she has a broken leg and a fractured pelvis. Meanwhile, the family says they're not upset at the driver, but they do have a message for that person.
And it does hurt to know that they saw that they did do something wrong and they were careless and not even checking or helping her out. Well,
family and friends of 30-year-old Dina Garcia are shocked after a driver hit Garcia and left the scene of the accident. These are pictures of the woman with her nephews and nieces. Just before 6 this morning in Canby, police say a driver hit Garcia while she was crossing 99E on Grant Street.
Out of a sudden, she felt a lot of pain and she goes, I'm just going to get up and just go home. I guess she didn't at that time realize what had happened.
She started crossing the crosswalk and the light was red and she had a walk signal at the crosswalk. But before she made it all the way through the crosswalk, it turned green. You know, so I guess all the guy was looking at was the light, and he really didn't see her.
Jeffrey Michaels works at the corner gas station. He saw the accident and comforted the victim until help arrived.
That's pathetic, you know? What if that happened to you? You know, would you want somebody to just take off and leave you laying in the road, or would you want them to help you?
At the accident scene was Garcia's Bible. Family members say Garcia was walking home from church just a few blocks away. It was a daily ritual for her.
People just trust her, and she's as honest as a day is long. And we do Bible studies in the office. She's just wonderful. She's a good, strong Christian woman.
The family says they're not upset at the driver, but they do want the person to own up to their actions.
We're not mad. We're not angry at the person. We just want him to come in and let us know that it was him, for we could just get this over with already.
And here's a description of the suspect's vehicle that we'd like to show you. Police say the vehicle is a Pontiac Grand Am, a four-door sedan, maroon in color with front end damage. If you see this car, call Canby Police. Joe,
well,
back
we
to you.
hope she continues to improve, Sam. Thank you very much.
Late Sam Louie is live in Manzanita with the latest on the investigation. Sam, what can you tell us?
Laurel, police are currently in the process of interviewing the 14 dog owners. They want to know where the dogs have been along Manzanita Beach, and they also want to know exactly how the dogs got sick.
Okay, come here, come here.
Eleanor Cathcart of Manzanita puts a leash on her black lab, Kelsey, before she takes her out to the beach.
And it only takes a moment for them to swallow something, so we don't take any chances.
She and many other dog owners are watching out for their pets along the coast.
Just what she is sniffing at doesn't look like any food or some alien object that we don't recognize.
The concern comes after 14 dogs were possibly poisoned. Police say 7 of those dogs died, with 1 confirmed case of the herbicide paraquat used to poison the dog. That's the same chemical that killed more than a dozen dogs at Laurelhurst Park in Portland last summer.
The only common thing we have right now is that all the dogs were on the beach at one time or another.
This is the container that this comes in.
Dennis Potter of Western Farm Service in Cornelius shows us a container of paraquat.
Danger, poison.
His company sells fertilizers and agricultural chemicals. He says paraquat can only be sold to people licensed to use it.
The only people that can purchase it are people that are licensed by the State Department of Agriculture.
Potter says local nut and berry farmers are the ones who usually buy it to kill weeds. But if placed in the wrong hands, he says it would only take a small amount to do serious harm.
I think that that a tablespoon completely absorbed inside the animal probably would be fatal.
We're having to...
Meanwhile, back at the beach, signs are up to warn pet owners to keep their dogs on a leash at all times.
Just really sad that people think and do things like that.
And there could be more confirmed cases of paraquat poisoning, but police are still waiting for the test results to come in. Laurel, back to you.
Sam, Louie live in Manzanita tonight.
Tracy, Adriana Darby says it was an unbelievable sight, and even though that happened 24 years ago, the memory resurfaced with the mountain's recent rumblings.
It brings back memories.
Adriana Darby feels fortunate to have survived the 1980 eruption. Her home in Toutle sits in the shadows of Mount St. Helens. But when it erupted on May 18th of that year, the devastation came to her doorstep.
Extremely devastating. Why were we spared? You feel so helpless, you feel guilty.
An estimated 200,000 tons of sediment flowed downstream from Mount St. Helens, taking out everything in its path.
The moaning, and you would hear glass breaking and a roar, and it was very frightening.
Her home withstood much of the damage. It was built 100 feet higher than the floodplain, despite the teasing from her neighbors.
They made fun of me for being chicken, but that's fine. I'd much rather be a live chicken than a dead one.
To this day, she still worries about Mount St. Helens.
I have named her the princess.
Why so?
Because she's temperamental.
And even though Darby's home was the only one in her neighborhood left intact from the mud flow, she says 2 of her original neighbors have rebuilt their homes and moved back in. Joe? And as promised, her name was Lola.
Lola!
She was a showgirl.
Showgirl!
With yellow ribbons in her hair and a dress cut down to there. So anyways, if you think you can beat that, come on down here to the Ambridge Event Center. Today and tomorrow, auditions are being held between 10 and 5 next to the Convention Center. You'll have to bring a completed registration form, which you can find at kgw.com or at Taco Bell. So we'll see you here. Bring your rain jackets and umbrellas. Kelly, back to you.
I admire your bravery, and I'm so glad you're keeping the day job.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve. Very
Me too, don't feel bad.
Sierra, I don't have any makeup on.
Neither do I.
Come here, you know this song. Gatti. Come on.
You hear? Come on. Who your phone?
Tell us when.
Anytime you're ready.